I'm back, y'all. Welcome to a new series that I'm going to do for about the next 6 months or so called NFL Week in Review, where I will talk about the summary, a weekly recap pretty much of everything that happens each week while we are in the 2025 NFL season. I'm going to start off telling you guys about this because I was watching that Colts versus Dolphins game, and let me tell you, I do not feel good wearing this jersey. I do not. I really don't. When I got this on my birthday almost 6 months ago, I felt good wearing it. I felt comfortable. I felt nice. Luckily, I smartened up and I got 7 shirts, one for each division. And everybody knows this if you listen to my podcast. This past Sunday at the 1 o'clock game, the Miami Dolphins faced the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons why we lost, because this is our visiting game, first one of the season, and we got our backs blown out. And I believe it all starts with Tua and other wide receivers and running backs and the whole team pretty much, and Mike McDaniel, because this is not what I expected week 1. I really wasn't. Was I expecting a complete landslide victory from the Colts? I was not. I was expecting at least a close game, either one ruining over the other. I was expecting like a hand toss flip. You know, flip a coin, it could go either way. I do not feel good wearing this jersey. I feel angry. I feel frustrated. I just want to take this off right now simply because this does not feel good. I'm honestly surprised that Tua didn't break any bones with all those 3 sacks he took. What we're going to do, we're going to go to the Dolphins thing, to their little section of the page, and we are going to look at the news, and we are going to just read about Dolphins falling to the Colts 33-8. Teams that finish games plus 3 in the turnover department win NFL games at a 91.4% rate. The Colts forced 3 turnovers on Sunday, finishing with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. In the NFL, when you're minus 3 plus a turnover, you're running to the kicker across the board. That's not a formula. That formula is for failure and nothing else. And I think there was a lot of preparation for week 1, and I don't think it looked it. That's what Mike McDaniel said. That's our head coach. Colts safety Cameron Bynum secured the first interception of the day in the first quarter, which was followed by a fumble recovery by Indianapolis in the ensuing drive. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw a second interception in the beginning of the third quarter, which was picked by defensive lineman Laiatu Latu. Because when you look at it from a surface level, right? When you look at this from a surface level, when you're an outsider looking in, it looks like they were ready to play. The scores don't reflect that. The way they were actually playing doesn't reflect that. And we're talking about Daniel Jones. He was one of the last season he was a quarterback 2 for the New York Giants. Now that he's with the Indianapolis Colts, he's doing much better. Okay, I changed shirts because I don't like wearing a jersey for a team that doesn't act like they want to win, because from what I was looking at, from everything that I saw, from the 3 sacks, from the interception, that's just not a team that looks like they want to win. And me being a quote-unquote fan of them, I feel like they're, at this rate, remember when I said in the earlier podcast, I thought they were going to go 10-7 for the record this year? How naive was I for thinking that we were going to do thinking that we were going to be better? I fell for it again. Now, my prediction, we're probably going to win 2 games at best, and then we're going to lose the rest of the season. That's how I feel. That's how we're going to feel. That's how it feels to me at best, winning 2 games overall in the season. Because from the way they're playing, from the way they talk about it, they deserve to be winless. If y'all are playing like this, if y'all keep acting like this is gonna be how it is, and thinking that it's gonna be okay for it, and then you keep disrespecting us. If you keep disrespecting us fans by playing like this, you deserve a winless season. In other news, I want to talk about the first game of the entire season. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at home going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, right off the bat, we are going to be talking about the little scuffle that happened between Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter. I was actually watching this game live as I was coming home from work, and I had noticed Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott. At the start, at the beginning, I thought Jalen Carter instigated the whole thing, which later to come find out that Dak actually spit first, but it wasn't on Jalen Carter. It seemed like he instigated the whole thing, and I'm talking about Jalen Carter when I'm speaking about this, but that just wasn't necessarily the case. I was angry when it happened because this was the first game of the season. We're not supposed to be acting like this, you know? Like, I would think as the team of the 2025 or 4 Super Bowl champs that we would be, I don't know why I'm saying we because that's not necessarily my team, but it is a team that I support nonetheless. I just think that we would be professional about this and just being the bigger man and just walking away. At least that's what I would have done if I was Jalen Carter. But things didn't pan out that way, and he gets ejected. I don't know why you would object yourself to that. I don't know why you would choose to spit on a quarterback. Some of us like him, most of us don't. He's still just a quarterback nonetheless. And there are rules for that, there are repercussions for that, and he got ejected. He got disqualified from the thing, from his team, and he had to be sent back, he had to be sent home. I mean, it was a close game. It was 20-24, which I thought was okay. I thought it was going to be a blowout. Not like my Dolphins game, but we're not going to talk about that anymore. I'm just happy the Eagles won. That's all I'm saying. They tied at the first quarter. Then Philly took over when they scored another touchdown. And it was mostly Jalen Hurts going for it, running it himself, which I'm kind of proud of him for. So good on you, Jalen. All right, here we go to the very next night. We have international game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Los Angeles Chargers facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs, who fell to them 27-21. Trailing by 9 points and facing a 4th down with just over 3 minutes remaining in the game, quarterback Patrick Mahomes connected with wide receiver in Hollywood Brown for a 49-yard gain deep into Chargers territory, setting up a 27-yard field goal that narrowed the deficit to just 6 points. The player, which featured Mahomes scrambling to his right before firing a beautiful pass to Brown while on the run, kept the Chiefs' chances alive and led to a critical defensive series that would have ultimately decided the game. And this reminded me of something. Travis Kelce bumping into Xavier Worthy and having Xavier Worthy hurting his shoulder or dislocating it or separating or something happened, which led to Xavier Worthy being injured and him having been sent back. So that's why Hollywood Brown was there. Because if Xavier Worthy was there, I feel like it would have been a closer game. Well, it's 6 points, but still, that was pretty wild because when you look back at the footage, you see Travis Kelce bumping into Xavier Worthy really hard. It was hurting me while I was watching it. I mean, when it came down to it, Justin Herbert, man, he looked like he was focused all game. Like, I was watching this, and this was a much better game, like, to watch than the Dolphins game. Like, I was not having fun watching the Dolphins game, but this was a few nights prior. This was a much more enjoyable game to watch because I like the Chargers. I don't have a shirt for them, but I do like them as a team. I think they're good. Obviously, they did much better against the Chiefs, which I feel like now not having any more helps from the refs, they're being shown their true colors. The scores reflect that. So, there you go. That's the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. Now, I think this is one you've all been waiting for. The Ravens and Bills game. 41-40. This is probably the closest game that you'll ever see. Can you imagine being the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson's your quarterback, but you have Derrick Henry not knowing what to do? And imagine dominating the entire game for 3 quarters, and then your opponent, who happens to be the Buffalo Bills, who happens to have Josh Allen as their quarterback, decide to lock in, decide to play for real this time, and end up overtaking the game. And other Bills fans were leaving the stadium. Little do those fans know that the Bills actually won this game. Not even like maybe halfway towards the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter to win the entire game. And it says here, Josh Allen had a message to the few thousands of fans, and perhaps the entire NFL for that matter, who left the stadium early to beat the traffic on Sunday night. They said maybe they should have stuck around. Our team didn't quit, Allen said, his voice almost hoarse after rallying the Bills from a 15-point deficit in the final 4 minutes to a thrilling season-opening 41-40 win over the Baltimore Ravens. I think there's people who left the stadium. That's okay. We'll be fine. But have some faith next time. Allen refused to let up in scoring in 2 touchdowns and throwing another, with Keon Coleman catching a tipped pass in the end zone in a frantic fourth quarter alone. The NFL's reigning MVP then capped the win by overseeing a 9-play, 66-yard drive over the final 86 seconds and setting up Matt Prater's 32-yard field goal as time expired. I do think both quarterbacks are great, and Josh Allen just proved to me that he's here to stay and that he is him. This was a great week 1 for him. So I would love to be in his position right now. I would love to be in the Bills' position right now, knowing that we won a game and just pushing right on through. Good on you, Josh. We have another Sunday game, actually. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the New York Jets. I was going to be paying close attention to the Steelers this year because Aaron Rodgers, this is seemingly his last season ever before he retires, and he picked the Steelers. He picked the Steelers to go with. He's going up against the former team that he left, which was the New York Jets. And this is a little flip-flop situation because Justin Fields, who was on the Steelers, is now for the New York Jets. 2 quarterbacks switching teams, and they were at home in New York at MetLife Stadium. Aaron Rodgers began his day saying hello to old friends from the New York Jets, many of them notably from the defense. In his warm-up, he threw to a familiar face, Karen Patel, whom Rodgers used to throw when he was with the Jets, and Patel worked for the New York equipment team. Patel was at MetLife to work the visitors' locker room on Sunday. Rodgers said he wished the team would rehire him. And apparently the Steelers won this game. I did not believe thoroughly in Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers to pull off a win. I was expecting this to be another blowout, but it was actually a really close game. The Pittsburgh Steelers won 34-32. Justin Fields also did a great job on the New York Jets, I think. Aaron Rodgers did the business. He can still go. I'm not gonna lie. He proved me wrong, and I don't mind being proven wrong. You can show me that you still got it, and Aaron Rodgers did that. So good on Aaron Rodgers for proving to us that he still got it. He can still ball. I'm just surprised, if anything. Pleasantly surprised, I can say, because, you know, a lot of people loved Aaron Rodgers when he was with the Packers. I don't know if I should mention that Micah Parsons actually took down Jared Goff in his first sack as a Packer. And I feel like everybody was happy about that, but, you know, let's just move on from that. Alright, this will be probably the last game I'll talk about because I think you guys all know that if you kept up with this week, you'll see your teams and their scores. I know the Cardinals won, I know the Rams won, I know Raiders won against the Patriots. And these were all Sunday games, so they were all playing. Some games I care about, some games I don't. I'll watch the primetime ones, so it's okay. That's what I'm here to talk about mostly. Last game I'll probably be talking about is the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. This was also a close game. Bears fans were too overly confident because I was watching this game, and apparently this is J.J. McCarthy's first opener of his season. And this is a full circle moment for him because when he was like about 4 years old, he was a Bears fan actually, and took him to his first. I think his dad took him to his first game, and now he's a Viking. He's playing in the same stadium, which also hosted a Bears Vikings game. So this is like a full circle moment for him, and he ended up winning the game in that stadium. So congratulations to J.J. McCarthy in his first. I think this is his debut as an opener for the Minnesota Vikings. So good on him for being able to pull out that win. It says here, McCarthy settles in and delivers. For 3 quarters, J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings' chosen quarterback of the future, looked much like his lack of experience suggested Green. The speed of the game appeared to be too much for McCarthy to handle in his first NFL start. At the same was true of his responsibilities and the conductor of the offense. Minnesota's offense was a no-show, reaching the fourth quarter with just 85 total yards while struggling with the basic pre-snap operation on nearly a play-by-play basis. Then a questionable pass interference penalty and a much-needed simplification of the Minnesota offense sparked McCarthy, who took the electricity and detonated Chicago's defense. Those who watched McCarthy at Michigan would recognize this version of the quarterback as he fired accurate, fearless passes that included his first scoring toss through a tighter-than-usual window, delivering a strike to Aaron Jones for another score, and then taking off on a 14-yard run to give the Vikings a 10-point lead in seemingly a blink of an eye. The turnaround was stunning, and much of it depended on McCarthy's intestinal fortitude. After 3 ugly quarters, the fourth showed us why Kevin O'Connell was confident that McCarthy was his man. And let's not forget, he's only like 22-something years old. I think he's 22 years old. So he's, I think, the youngest starting quarterback. So him being able to do that young and have that much pressure, I feel he also proved to us and to the Vikings fans that he's here to stay. So good on J.J. McCarthy. As for Caleb Williams, though, I thought he also did good. I saw there were a couple of good plays that he did on the Monday night game. Although Bears fans were too overly confident by the way they were playing, I kept hearing Bears fans saying that they were going to win the Super Bowl, that they were going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And then the fourth quarter happened, much like the Raven and Bills game. They just didn't do it. I mean, this is only week 1, so we're just going to see how everything plays out for week 2. So here are my final thoughts on week 1. And I know there wasn't enough really going on other than the fact that, you know, Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter, that little kerfuffle, that was enough. Justin Herbert winning the game, the international game with Kansas City and the Chargers, good on him. Then we have the damn Dolphins, which keep disappointing me. I still stand by what I say. Like, if we lose to the Patriots next week on Sunday, we deserve a winless season, because that's not it. This is not it. Because honestly, I don't feel confident in that team. I don't feel like I don't think they care enough. I think all they just want is another paycheck instead of just having passion for the game. Like, even in the Cowboys and Eagles game, I saw passion there. In the Chiefs and Chargers game, I saw passion there. And what other game? Bills Ravens, I saw passion there. Even the Vikings Bears game, I saw passion there. Not with the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they don't look like a team that wants to win. They're a team that looks like they just want another paycheck and then going home. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. If I go outside right now and wear my custom jersey, I will be laughed at. People will be laughing at me. I could wear this around my family because they don't know. They're not really football fans. They don't know that I like a team that absolutely sucks. Everyone will be pointing and looking at me like I'm a stupid ape. Anyways, that's my little recap on week 1. Maybe week 2 will be much better. Who knows? We still got 16 weeks of the NFL season, and I feel like it's going to be a long one. I feel dead inside. It's going to be a long season. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.